So, one homework for tomorrow is O-C-K-A-M apostrophe S R-A-Z-O-R. O-C-K-A-M O-C-K-A-M apostrophe S R-A-Z-O-R. O-C-K-A-M apostrophe S and then second word R-A-Z-O-R. Anybody want to pronounce it? What? Occam's razor. Now I know you don't know what that means, right? That's why you're going to look it up. But Occam was a Christian philosopher and a priest also. And Occam's razor is the problem-solving principle that states that entities should not be multiplied without necessity. In other words, it's saying the same thing that Prabhupada is saying here. But it's using big words. It says that he must have solid knowledge of the necessary books without superfluous knowledge in others. So you just should take what's necessary and pertinent, and not try and be over-intelligent and read many different books and say, you know, when somebody asks you a question and you say, well, Spinoza said this, but Kant said this other thing, and then Kierkegaard said this thing, and then this other philosopher said that thing, and you confuse the whole subject with a lot of other people's speculative opinions. You should just stick to what Krishna says, right? Because he's the ultimate authority. Anything that's a little different than what Krishna says should be avoided, because you're just going to confuse the subject, you see. So you have to learn what Occam's razor is. It says that the idea is attributed to the English Franciscan friar. That means he was a Catholic priest, William of Ockham, a scholastic philosopher. In other words, he lived around, I think, the 10th or 12th century. But when he says he's a scholastic, it means he studied ancient Greek philosophers like Plato and Socrates and other philosophers. That's what it means by scholastic. And he was a philosopher and theologian. In other words, he was a priest and a philosopher who used a preference for simplicity to defend the idea of divine miracles. So, in other words, Occam's razor is a principle of simplicity. In other words, if I asked you, can you show me where your nose is? So there's different ways of doing that. The direct way is, here's my nose. But some people say, well, my nose is like this, and go around like that, and then come back over here, and then go around like that, and it's right there. That is called superfluous, unnecessary. You just go, there's my nose right here, you know. You don't have to go like this and that and then go around, there's my nose, you know. So this is what people do to show off that they're smart, right? But actually, they're not smart, they're snot. You know what snot is? It's what comes out of your nose sometimes, you know. It's not smart, it's snotty. So you just go directly to what is necessary. You don't unnecessarily bring in this philosopher said this and that philosopher said this and my idea is this. And no, you answer it based on the authority of the Mahajans, as it said before, right? And point number point number 5. Follow the example of great sages as the model. And who are the great sages? They're Mahajans, the experts in Krishna consciousness. I see, it was yeah. Okay. So that's why we're going over these 20 points, because this teaches you. Oh, it's point 4. Okay, point 4. This teaches you how to be Krishna conscious. And you have to know these 20 points, otherwise you'll get confused. Right? Okay. So, and very good, Ria. See, Ria looked the word up. You didn't know the word, right? So you looked it up in the dictionary. That's what I want you to do. I want you to, you're going to, just like Occam's razor, you're going to have to look it up and try and figure out what it means, right? But it means basically the same thing as what Prabhupada is saying is point 14. Okay, and then continue. Point 15.
A regular and successful practice of the above 14 items will enable the candidate to maintain mental equilibrium even amidst great trials of material loss and labor.
This is like extremely important. See, now you're getting more and more levels of important points, right? So if you do you said if you do the above 12, you become a guru, right? But a monitor guru, and he explains what monitor guru is. Now he's saying if you do up to 14, then you will maintain mental equilibrium. That means you won't go crazy. Like, there's so many young kids and older people, they're going crazy today. There's a lot of mental unbalance. People are becoming, schizophrenic. They're having, okay, write these words down. Schizophrenic. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to try and spell it. Schizophrenic. S-C-H. I-Z. O. P-H. R-E-N-I-A. No. S-C-H-I-Z-O-P-H-R-E-N-I-A. Got it? So I'm not going to tell you what it is. You have to look it up. So you look up schizophrenic. What? What? Okay, so that's one. Now two, well, one is Occam's razor. Two is schizophrenic. Three is panic attack. P-A-N-I-C. P-A-N-I-C, and second word, A-T-T-A-C-K. Panic attack. 1 second. Number 4, depression. D-E-P-R-E-S-S-I-O-N. D-E-P-R-E-S-S-I-O-N. Number 5, anxiety. A-N-X-I-E-T-Y. Anxiety. A-N-X-I-E-T-Y. Number 6, C-E-L celiac disease, D-I-S-E-A-S-E. C-E-L-I-A-C, celiac. C-E-L-I-A-C, disease, D-I-S-E-A-S-E. Okay, so these are different types of mental problems that children have, and adults, both, but you can have it even as a child. Not Occam's razor, of course, but all the other things. Schizophrenia, panic attack, depression, anxiety, celiac disease. And there's more, but we don't want to go too far into this subject. So, here it says, point 14, point 15, a regular and successful practice of the above 14 items will enable the candidate to maintain mental equilibrium. That means you will not go crazy and develop schizophrenia, panic attack, depression, anxiety, celiac disease, right? Even amidst the great trials of material loss and gain. So your homework, second homework, explain what it means amidst great trials of material loss and gain. Amidst, A-M-I-D-S-T, amidst. Amidst great trials of material loss and gain.
Explain what phrase means. Amidst great trials of material loss and gain.
Well, that's point 15, right? You just read point 15. Explain what that means. Okay. All right, so let's finish this.
So then, point number 16. In the next stage, the candidate does not become afflicted by lamentation and illusion.
Okay, well, that's related to your second homework. Explain what afflicted by lamentation and illusion. What does that mean? You see, if you want mental health, you follow the first 14 points here. This is a big problem in America today. A lot of people are crazy. And they're going crazy, and they're different states of being crazy, and they're afflicted by depression, anxiety, panic attacks, schizophrenia, and so forth. So if people just became Krishna conscious by following these 20 points, it would solve all those problems. And you wouldn't need doctors, you wouldn't need psychiatrists, you wouldn't need opioids, you wouldn't need any of that stuff. You see? You see how they're all artificial problems created because people are not Krishna conscious. And many of these things are the reasons why teenagers commit suicide. Not only teenagers, adults also, but teenagers, a lot of teenagers commit suicide nowadays. Including Indian teenagers. If their parents only knew that they don't need a psychiatrist, they don't need medication, all they need is Krishna. Just like there's a song by the Beatles. All you need is love. All you need is Krishna consciousness. All you need is Krishna consciousness, and all your problems will go away. All right. Okay, go ahead.
Point number 17. He does not deride another's mode of religion and worship, nor does he deride the personality of Godhead or his devotees.
Yeah, so you don't do like that Muslim did last week.
Yes.
Tell a devotee, your God is not God, because he eats. You know, Allah doesn't eat any food, as if he knows something about Allah. He doesn't know anything about Allah. Right? He's talking nonsense. So we should never criticize another person's religion, nor the personality of Godhead, Krishna, also called Allah by some people, or the devotees of the Lord. We should never criticize. Okay, and then?
Point number 18. He never tolerates blasphemy against the Lord or his devotees.
So that means you can do three things if someone blasphemes Krishna, just like that Muslim. One, kill him. Two, convince him he's wrong. Or convince him he should stop. Three, walk away. So what did the devotee boy do last week? What was his name? Onam or something like that? Anand? Anaya.
Or Arjun.
Oh no, Arjun. Yeah. What
Yeah.
did he do?
He walked away.
Walked away. He did the right thing.
Yeah.
So if you're strong enough philosophically to convince the person to stop, that's good. Or you can kill him, but I think it's better just to walk away. Okay, number 19.
He should not
But you
indulge.
should not tolerate. You shouldn't just sit there and smile. Oh, that's very interesting. Yeah, you just insulted Krishna. No, you don't do that. Go ahead.
He should not indulge in the discussion of topics dealing with the relationship between man and woman, nor should he engage in useless topics concerning others' family affairs.
This is extremely important point. This is what kids and adults like to do. Like, so and so is sitting with so and so, and they were holding hands. Oh my God, it's really bad. They shouldn't do that, but it's really funny though. Just all nonsense, right? You shouldn't do anything like that. Talk about that, or talk about family affairs. You know what my father did? It's nonsense. So, all these things, you can see if you follow these 20 points, you become a real person. Otherwise, you end up being a phony by doing all these things. Go ahead.
Number 20. He should not inflict pain, either in body or in mind, upon other living beings, whomsoever they may be.
That means ants, rabbits, dogs, cats, people should not inflict pain, either in body or in mind. What does that mean, pain in mind? Well, if you insult someone, or if you make fun of them, or if you bully them, or say, "Oh, you're stupid," you shouldn't make fun of people like that. It's not right. These are 20 good points, aren't they? These 20 points, Prabhupada said, if you want to be a devotee, you have to follow these 20 points. So everyone should follow it, whether you want to be a devotee or not, because it makes you a civilized person. Okay, so anybody else do their homework? Okay, so you did? What happened to your robotics? Okay. Okay, so I wanted to give you the topic of today, but did anyone do anything different than what we just heard from Shrestha? What? Okay. And you, okay.
You also gave the question about the words, right?
Which words?
The words that you don't know.
Okay. Which were? You going to read it? Give her the microphone.
Number 1, tangible.
What?
Tangible.
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 Not tangle. Tangible means, doesn't mean anything. It implies something that tastes good, but it's not really a word in English.
Tangible.
Tangible.
Tangible. It means perceptible by touch, and perceptible means especially of a slight movement or change of state, able to be seen or noticed.
Very good.
Whimsical. Playfully, quaint, or fanciful, especially in an appealing or amusing way.
Whimsical means it's basically nonsense. You do something, you say something or do something, you're not really serious, and it has nothing to do with the subject.
Yeah.
And so forth. Yeah. Okay.
Superficially, as to the outward appearance only on the surface.
Yes.
Abnegation, the act of renouncing or rejecting something.
Very good.
And amass, gather together or accumulate a large amount of things over a period of time.
Good.
And superfluous, unnecessary, especially through being more than enough. Indulge, allow oneself to enjoy the pleasure of.
What is that again?
Indulge, allow oneself to enjoy the pleasure of.
Yeah. And that's a good word to know, indulge. Like I use it a lot. It's called self-indulgence. What does that mean, self-indulgence?
It's basically sense gratification.
Yeah. Unnecessary sense gratification. Or selfish sense gratification. Okay. So I'm not going to have everybody else read it because you're going to basically repeat what she said, right? You don't have anything. Did you say anything that's different than what she said? Huh? Practically the same. Okay. So let's go on to the topic of today. Because today's topic, you're going to really like it. Well, I think you're going to like it. Well, let's see. You might not like it at all. You're going to have to read Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st canto, 8th chapter, verse number 40. You have to read the verse and especially the purport. 1:840. 1:840. Okay? And then you're going to have to explain if this verse and purport is about environmentalism. And that means you have to know what environmentalism is. And if what you read in the purport is actually, you have to decide whether what Prabhupada explains in the purport, is it a solution to the whole environmental problem? Because it's a big problem today. Everybody talks about environmentalism. Do they speak about it in your class? You ever hear about it in your classes? Yeah. Yeah, everyone's talking about environmentalism, you know. Right. But you have to decide, after reading that purport, if Prabhupada's, what he writes there is the solution to all the environmental problems. And if it is, why don't we do it? If it is, then why do we not do it? If it is the solution to all environmental problems, why do we not do it? Okay. So, that's it. Now you have your homework for tomorrow. And you already did your homework for today, right? Did anyone not do their homework for today? Okay, well then, that's part of your homework for tomorrow also. Do you know what the homework is for today? Huh? You do? You know what the homework is for today? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, what Shrestha read. She did her homework for today.
Wasn't it also like explain how the crystal creatures and something?
There were 3 parts. That was one. There was find, you had to do research to find the article on new species that were discovered this year, because we discussed last week how this planet has not been explored. There's plenty of parts of this planet and plenty of things that people don't know about. They want to go to Mars and explore Mars. They haven't even explored the Earth yet. You know. And then Shrestha did the homework. She found out that scientists and researchers in this year found 200,000 new species, right? Is that right? 200,000 new species. They've only found about 1.2 million species, maybe a few more now. So they haven't even explored this planet. Right? And then second was why the Muslim preacher was wrong, right? And third was write down all the 20 points of outlined by Prabhupada, an easy journey on how to become a devotee, how to be Krishna conscious, right? So then Shrestha did 1, 2, and 3. And at 3, we went over it, so we have a deeper understanding of it today in this class. Well, most of you were not here when we were going over it. That's why you have to come 7:30 in the morning, so you get the full class. But if you study these 20 points carefully, you'll see, well, part of your homework is to go over these 20 points again and explain what is Occam's razor, schizophrenia, panic attack, depression, anxiety, celiac disease, and I forgot to say this, how Occam's razors is separate. It's just a philosophical term I want you to know about. But schizophrenia, panic attack, depression, anxiety, celiac disease. The question you have to answer, can the 20 points outlined by Prabhupada in the Easy Journey to Other Planet solve these problems, which are major problems today amongst children and adults, but they also attack children. So can these 20 points solve the problem of schizophrenia, panic attack, depression, anxiety, celiac disease? Especially the first 4, schizophrenia, panic attack, depression, anxiety. So, and second homework is explain the phrase amidst great trials of material loss and gain. And then part of that is the second phrase, afflicted by lamentation and illusion. Can the 20 points also solve these problems? Right? So you'll see, if you follow these 20 points of how to become Krishna conscious, it can solve all your problems, physical and mental. That's the reason why we're studying these 20 points. And now for tomorrow, additional homework is you have to read Srimad Bhagavatam 1:840 and explain and give your opinion. Can if you follow what Prabhupada says in this purport, can it solve the problem of environmentalism? Yes. Can you write everything line by line? If I repeat it again? No, you ask you can ask Shrestha, you can ask whoever. Ask Ria, she really takes good notes now, right? Do you have all this written down, Ria? She's an expert now. Yeah. So you have two experts. You have Ria and you have Shrestha. And you can also ask Arisha. And can you ask also Shivani? You have them all written down? Yeah. Okay, so you have 4 people you can ask about Sanskriti. Did you write them all down? You can ask. That's 5 people you can ask. How about you, Arush? Did you write them all down? So you have to ask also. These are the 5 sages here, right? You can ask any. If you haven't written them all down, as soon as we stop in the next 3-4 minutes, you can ask the 5 sages that are sitting here. We should get a button, Ask me, I'm a sage. Okay? Okay. Haribol, all glories to Prabhupada. Come on time tomorrow. Do something surprising, unexpected, serendipitous. That's a nice word to know. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Haribol, all glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. What we're learning is, if you read Prabhupada's books, there's a solution to all the problems. You don't have to read these big books like that on environmentalism. You use Occam's razor. You cut out 99.9% of all the nonsense in those big books. You just read one purport by Prabhupada, it solves the whole problem. If you mention Occam's razor in your class, they all go like